Now let's pro teacher soup. They have with me Ian.
Hello.
Okay, Ian, do you remember when you, Alex, and I went over Captain America the End? The one where everyone became Red Skulls?
Oh, yeah, that was very bad.
Eric Larson worked on it.
Everyone looked like very bad Savage Dragon.
To put it mildly. And then Captain America's like, oh, my blood's the cure. Take all my blood. And we're only get so much cure. So, well, and I told you guys before how there was originally going to be a different Captain America at the end.
Ah.
That's what we're going over here. David Morrel, the guy who originally wrote the novel First Blood.
Ah.
So the creator of Rambo, is working on this. And originally this was supposed to be Captain America at the end. But
wait,
right
did the novel come out before the movie?
Yes. The movie, and in the novel, John died.
Which was the original Jurassic Park situation.
Which was the original. Well, that's the only real change. And that was the case when they originally shot the original ending, but most of the test audiences felt it was too depressing, so they had to be he lived and surrendered. Well, he got surrendered, and the colonel Troutman didn't execute him.
Ah.
But yeah, and to be fair, Morrel felt that was a better choice.
Well, that's good.
But anyways, like I said, this was supposed to be Captain America at the end until Cap was killed off in after Civil War, and thus they realized, no, this will cause confusion because the people were like, but wait, isn't he already dead?
Oops.
So they decided to go with the Chosen instead. And let me put it this way. This would have been a very different the end from any of the stuff we've gone over.
Do you think you can just call it the end and it still works?
Yes. Actually, okay, it does end with Cap's death. No spoilers there. But it is very different. That's what I'm saying. It's very different. That's why I'm wondering if The Chosen is the better title.
Okay.
You'll see what I mean.
Sure.
Now David Morrel was art by Mitch Red Rooster Brightweiser.
Yay!
That was one of the first
art, man.
Yeah, but that was one of the first campaigns I had to drop.
I did not drop it, but I don't think I've backed again because it took so long.
And was it worth it? Nah.
No, but I'm not sure how many of the Kickstarter campaigns I've bought are worth it.
Common America has been.
Fair. I'm still waiting for, what's that one? Guillaume Singelin, the French guy. I think that one's going to be worth it. That one looks amazing.
Still waiting on the Anybody's by Scott Lobdell.
Really? Isn't that pretty old?
No, that was a one he did a couple of years ago, but it still is not sent out yet. He and Brett Booth did.
Oh, sad.
But anyway, let's get started.
Yes.
Now, this is all going to be during around the time with the Iraq War and everything, the war in Afghanistan. Corporal James Newsom, U.S. Marines. Looks like the storm's moving on. Finally, roared so loud I couldn't sleep. Saddle up, everyone. Damn sand gets in everything. And heads up, everybody. I just got word on the radio. See that smoking rising past the village? And sometimes I wonder, I want to help my country. I want to help this country. But how can I help anybody if everybody looks the same? If I can't tell the people I want to help from the people I need to fight? I know why I'm here. Al-Qaeda, death to America, death to Satan, death to Zionists. And I caught him listening to music. She isn't wearing a veil.
Oh man, this has so much relevance today. I am depressed.
Zealots crazy enough to believe that hate is the same thing as believing in God. But what they really believe in, I get to be a martyr. It's death and pain. This came out in 2007, and it shows.
Yeah, but
I know.
Like I said, there's still a lot of relevance today.
In its own way, yes, just different relevancy.
No, it's the same relevance.
Okay. I know why I came here. If I help make this country safe, I hope to help make America safe. But I've been fighting America. but I've been fighting for what seems like forever. I'm so used to being scared that I'm numb. 5 months ago, my wife gave birth to our baby boy. That's your daddy. My wife's name is Lori. My son's name is Brad. I love him so much I ache. I pray I'll live to reach home and hold them.
Wait. Captain America's wife?
No, this is not Captain America. He said this is Colonel Newman.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we'll see Cap, all right? Like I said, this, and just to go back, this is, Corporal James Newman. I said that name earlier. Freezing in the winter, 100 degrees in the summer. The air's so dry you normally don't sweat. Let me tell you, when you're in a firefight, you sweat till your uniform's soaked. I carry 50 pounds of gear. My body armor feels like a load of bricks. At the very start, when were getting organized, there was such a shortage. Lori had to buy the armor and send it to me. Jeez, said Kevin. Lori sent it. Oh, he almost got hit. I mean, he got hit, but yeah. There's no time to think. You're just in it. Training, instinct, determination to stay alive. That's all you've got. And the loyalty of your buddies and your fury. Can I trust them? Is there a rifle under their robes? A grenade? Are they the people I'm helping or the people I'm fighting? God, and got to hold it together. Tired. Bone tired. Don't know how long I can keep doing this. How long I can muster the strength, the courage.
You think that cross is on purpose?
Maybe. The determination. To fight the enemy of freedom, to fight hate. You want to know how long we keep doing this? As long as we're able to lift a finger. As long as we can draw a breath. Captain America, you're going to need this, Corporal Newman. We're coming. Help! Courage, honor, loyalty, sacrifice. Help! My right leg's broken. Can't move. We'll get you. The soles of my boots are melting. Captain, do you see anybody else we need to help? Captain, do you hear me? Captain! I hear you, Corporal Newman. Captain? What's the matter, Corporal? You look surprised. What other captain did you expect to see? I'm the only captain here. But he was here. Cap was here. Cap, you sound like you're talking about Captain America. I saw him. He was next to me. Corporal, think about it. He's got better things to do than pay attention to what's happened to a forgotten patrol in the village in the middle of nowhere. Next to me, Captain America. Next to me. Captain America was next to me. He helped me save these men. No, Corporal, we saw everything that happened. You saved these two corpse men all by yourself. I've been over here 18 months. I survived a lot of firefights. I've never seen such bravery. You'll get a commendation for this, Corporal. Captain America deserves a commendation. Did anyone else see Captain America? No, sir. All we saw was the corporal saving those men. The way he was fighting, he didn't need Captain America to help him. You didn't see him? That's impossible. Cap was next to me. Captain America was here. Sometimes a firefight can twist your imagination. Take it easy for a while, Corporal. Lord knows you've earned the rest. I've been fighting for here so long, I've lost my mind. Captain America, courage, honor, loyalty, sacrifice. Captain, you're braver than you think. Huh? Now you're probably wondering what just happened, right?
Dun, dun, dun.
Am I right?
Yep.
Well, we'll get to that. Any change? Yes. I'm afraid it's not what we hope. He isn't responding to the treatment. You never know he's Captain America. At this rate, he won't last much longer. The president's taken a special interest. I'm under orders to alert the White House if the situation becomes graver. If you get close to Captain America, you're one step closer to the president. His determination is amazing. I just realized this damned irony. This is the same lab in which he was created. It need to be strong, brave, courage, honor, loyalty, sacrifice. All night I dreamed a voice reciting those words. Yesterday I hallucinated. I imagined Captain America was helping me. My ribs still hurt from the bullet that hit my chest armor. Too many firefights. Too long away from home. I'm afraid I'm going crazy. Satellite recon showed weapons being carried into this cave. Our birds bombed the ridge and pulverized the terrorist camp. HQ wants us to locate those weapons and make sure they're destroyed. A cave. Can't stand caves. Can't stand being shut in. The bombs weakened everything. This place could collapse at any moment. Cold in here. Everybody near Newman, take the left. The rest of us will take the right. Yes, Sergeant. Feel smothered. Ready or not, Jimmy, here I come. He'll never find me. Jimmy, where'd you go? Uh-oh. And he's locked in there. Look, Jimmy. Sergeant, we found the weapons. Sergeant, can you hear me? Jimmy, we're too far into the mountain for the radio signal to reach the others. I've got orders to destroy these weapons. Let's set the charges. I'll be glad to get out of here. Chink! Sanchez, do you hear something? There! Look out! Bam, bam, blam. Like, yeah! Oh, he's dropped the photo. Help! Please, Jimmy, help! I'll get you out of here, Sanchez. Somehow. Help! Help! Legs. Can't move my legs. Help! Help! So many. Can't breathe. Laurie, Brad, never going to see them again. Never going to hold them again. Never going to be able to tell them how much I love them. Sergeant, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Captain, can you hear me? We're trapped. We need help. Don't give up on us. We're alive. Captain! Captain! I hear you. Courage, honor, loyalty, sacrifice. Captain America, you're braver than you think. I saw you yesterday. Yes? You helped me save those men. No. You're not making sense. You saved those men by yourself. But I felt you next to me, as solid as you feel now, as I feel you now. In your mind. I don't understand. What do you mean you're in my mind? And Jimmy, I'm going crazy. Jimmy, who are you talking to? My ribs. Gotta help me. No air. Can't. Remember when you were trapped in the car trunk when I was a kid? How do you know about that? A blazing summer day. The trunk was like an oven. You nearly died. Tell me how you know. But even when you were almost unconscious, you didn't quit. You kept trying. You refused to surrender. Even though you were tired, so tired. You couldn't breathe, but you kept fighting. You never lost hope. Like you never gave up. You're stronger and braver than you ever dreamed. Damn it, tell me how you know about the trunk. Jimmy, stop talking to yourself. You're scaring me. The pain. Don't let us down. Get us out of here. Help you? How can I help you when I'm seeing things? No one can help you. No one can help any of us. You can. There's only so much one person can do. Wrong. There's a world of strength in you. I'm giving it to you. But you told me you're not really here. Help me believe and help me believe I haven't lost my mind. Tell me what's going on. I'm dying.
Trippy.
Yep. You're free to speak up about anything as I'm going on. Come on, I hate when that happens. Like what?
Failure.
Officers, scientists, doctors. Nobody's come out for a week. I've never seen any place button up so tight. What in God's name is happening in here? Whatever it is, we'll blow anybody to hell who tries to attack. And his vital signs are close to collapse. He'll die if he doesn't stop pushing himself. From what you've told me, he'll die anyway. This is his only chance, our only chance to keep the dream of his mission alive. You're stronger and braver than you can imagine. Who's he talking to? Who was his choice? Captain, we can't make radio contact with Corporal Newman. The roof fell in. We can't get there into those men. Blow the tunnel open. Sir, our demolition guys say that'll collapse the rest of the mountain. If Corporal Newman and the others are somehow still alive, they'll be crushed. You're dying? Yes. That's impossible. You're the healthiest looking man I've ever seen. My legs, my chest. Jimmy, who are you talking to? For God's sakes, don't go crazy on us. Get us out of here. You heard him. I'm not really here, but I can see you. I'm only in your mind. No, yesterday when you first came to me. When the insurgent ambushed my unit at the village, you protected me. You helped me carry the wounded to safety. No, I made you imagine I helped you. I wanted you and to make you feel like you had all the strength and courage you needed to save those men. You rescued them entirely on your own. Jimmy, stop scaring me. Stop talking to yourself. Help me. Too much fighting. Too much death. Maybe I am going crazy. Jimmy, can't breathe. Not enough air. Like when you were a boy, you almost died in the trunk of that car. How can you know what I'm thinking? I know everything about you. I know how much you miss your wife and son. I know you joined the military because you want to make a life safe for your family. Safe for everybody. Everywhere. Despite your fear, you found a way out of that truck. Now you'll think of a way out of here. You've got to help us. I can't. Not the way you want. But I can help you reach inside yourself. Help you find strengths you never imagined. But if you're not really here, where are you? In a heavily guarded medical facility outside of Washington. When I got sick, when my body started to fail, when it became obvious that I could soon rely only on my mind, I volunteered for an experiment. It was dangerous, but I didn't care. Although my body was useless, I refused to stop helping people. The process that gave me the physical power of Captain America also amplified the power of my brain, and that power remained strong. In my youth, before I became what I am, I worked as a commercial artist. It's an ideal skill for remote viewing. In projects like Sunstreak and Grill Flame, our scientists experimented with it for decades. But with me, they reached a breakthrough. I could visualize terrorist training camps. I drew sketches. Experts familiar with the region could identify where the camps were located. Satellites provided map coordinates. But then the process led to an unexpected direction. I discovered that I could not only visualize remote areas, I could also enter the minds of people at this location. I could make people believe they saw me. Ah! Where did he? Hey, now you're tricking me the same way. At the start, when I first discovered I had the ability, yes, it was a trick, a way to deceive the enemy. I don't see anybody. Hey, you piece of camel dung. You fell asleep on duty and had a nightmare. No, I swear he was. Hey, you're looking the wrong way. Hey, a way to make them think I was everywhere. My illness got worse. My strength kept fading until my body was useless to me. Then my mind became my only weapon. But every time I use my new skill, the only one I now have, I can see through your body. What's happening? What's happening? The blood pressure and heart rate dropping. My sickness made me weak to begin with. Now my new skill added to that weakness. To keep fighting for freedom, I paid a terrible cost. Move and everybody push. And everyone push. He makes and every push he makes robs him of more strength. He's fighting so hard for us. He's killing himself. Cap, where are you, Cap? Jimmy, you're shouting at a damn wall. The bad air in here is making you crazy. Save your breaths, all of us. We've got to save our breaths. Reach inside myself. What on earth was he talking about? If he was even here, if I didn't imagine him, Carmine's dead. He can't do it alone any longer. Find strength. Things I never imagined. I'm no hero. All I want is to get out of here, to go home, to hold my family, to sleep without nightmares. Get us all out of here, Jimmy! Like he's trying to say something. You're wrong, Jimmy. You are a hero. You can't give up. Never give up. Not enough air. Help us, Jimmy! Drip, drip, drip. That's the last of it. Jimmy, he's got to quit pushing himself. His heart can't take the strain. Trip, do you hear that? Hear what? Jimmy, don't tell me you've got voice in your head again. Water! All I hear are Rick and the rest of us trying to breathe. Not Rick. He died 5 minutes ago. You are a hero, Jimmy. Reach inside as deeply as you can. No, I do hear it. Water! Jimmy, be careful. Don't get lost. Drip, drip. Thank God. Wait a second. How did he die? What if the water is poisoned? Maybe the explosion opened a crack in the wall. Maybe there wasn't any water here when he died. Maybe he got lost and wandered until he dropped. And thirst is not what killed him. And thirst is what killed him, not poison. But how can I be sure? Need a way to test the water. Oh, yeah, he took the bug and then... Nope, it didn't die. Jimmy! Maybe it didn't drink any of the water. Maybe it didn't prove anything. The men are so dehydrated from bleeding, they'll die soon if they don't get water. We're daddy's away. Poison or thirst. I've got to risk it. How long would it take to kill me? I don't taste anything. I can't do anything about food, but I can search for a way out before we run out of air. And he keeps trying to talk. Hope, Jimmy, that's what gives us strength. His blood pressure is falling. One more push. Courage, honor, loyalty, sacrifice. You're not the same. You look sick. I meant what I told you. I'm dying. Why? Are you afraid? Trapped in here? Worried about those injured men? Who wouldn't be? And yesterday during the ambush? Of course. And every day when you're riding on patrol, worrying about a sniper, a roadside ambush, a suicide bomber blowing you and everybody else when you're eating in the mess tent? Yes! Since you came to this country, has there ever been a day when you didn't feel afraid? No. Multiply that by decades. I became Captain America in 1941, a lifetime ago. Never once since then, in all those thousands and thousands of days, have I not felt afraid. Germany invaded most of Europe. Americans needed to get ready for the fight of their lives. Already saboteurs and fifth columnists attacked us. But I'm only human. Steve Rogers, an insignificant nobody. My father died when I was a kid. It was the Depression. He was always away, looking for work, trying to support us. My mother managed to feed us by taking in laundry and mending clothes. She died just after my 18th birthday. The doctor said it was pneumonia, but I think the real cause was she worked herself to death. The news of the increasing atrocities in Europe made me realize that my problem meant nothing compared to the hell that was happening over there. I hope to make a difference. Son, you're not strong enough. You never survived boot camp, let alone combat. Not strong enough in my heart. I'm not strong enough. In my heart, I had all the strength anyone could possibly need. That's when I found another father. 3 of them. Professor Erskine, General Phillips, and Colonel Fletcher. Or rather, they found me. They needed a control subject for an experiment called Project Rebirth. The goal was to build an army of super soldiers that would stop the relentless Nazi domination of Europe. The idea was to saturate us with experimental chemicals and hormones, then to develop our physical capabilities to their absolute limit. The professor invented a machine that would bombard our altered metabolism with what he called Vita rays. After our training was complete, he'd make the final transformation. Not that anyone believed I'd complete the training. I was there only to show how the process affected different body types, but the professor and General Phillips always encouraged me. Meanwhile, Colonel Fletcher barked and cursed and insulted me, urging me to try harder. He didn't make me angry, though. I never understood what he needed to do. But it turned out that the hormones and chemicals emphasized personality flaws. The other men in the experiment, the big ones, had been used to always getting their way because of their size.
So this I actually really like, because one of the things that, and I know this is a very unpopular opinion, but one of the things I hate about the Captain America movie is that the muscle mass is gained instantly. Whereas this says they were actually giving him the hormones all throughout.
And then the Vita rays did it.
Yeah, no.
Well, no, we're still going to get the Vita rays.
Yeah, you can't just create mass like that.
No, I know. Now they couldn't control their emotion. Their new powers got the better of them. Each of them wanted to dominate. A bully mentality developed. They became like the thugs they were supposed to be fighting. Finally, the only test subject left in Project Rebirth was me. Steve, we need someone humble, who won't be controlled by his power. You look sicker. I don't know how much longer I could keep going. Jimmy, can you hear me? Are you okay? Don't die if I don't find a way out. Why are you sick? Project Rebirth. To justify the faith that my substitute fathers had in me, I worked harder and longer. I did anything they asked of me. It was the months of agony and determination. I had a sense of time hurrying me, and that a terrible deadline was looming. Then the final moment came for the final stage of the experiment, the first day of my never-ending fear, although I was certainly optimistic at the start. Steve, it's still not too late to back out. After the trust you put in me, we don't know what the rays might do to you. I'll risk anything for the three of you. Good heavens, I'd never dream. You won't make another one! No! A Nazi spy forged credentials so he could watch the experiment. All these years later, I still blame myself for losing control and accidentally destroying the ray machine. Only Professor Earthshine knew its secret. Project Rebirth could never be repeated. There could never be another Captain America. I doomed myself to being alone. And now Project Rebirth is failing. Jimmy! Oh no. Dead end! Not quite, Jimmy. Look. Can't stand being shut in. I feel smothered. I can't go in there. I know how you feel. It never stops. What doesn't? Fear. Oh. You still hear me?
Yeah, I think it's very interesting how this is so intensely of its moment, the war on terror.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also...
You can move it to a different war.
It is not making anything ideological at all, which I'm curious about.
Yep. But now, as it's going on, does this feel like the end, or does this feel like...
I mean, it has a lot of the same tropes as Logan does.
True. But this is before Logan, obviously.
I know, but a lot of comic writers are a lot more in the Hollywood mindset than novel writers.
True.
So you'll see a lot of the same writing patterns in a comic that you won't necessarily in a movie.
True, but still though. But what do you think about this so far?
I mean, there's not a whole lot new. The retelling of
he's adding nice nuances. I'll say that.
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea about there being the others there who let their muscles and everything get the better of them. I like that.
I mean, it makes sense.
Definitely. But anyway, let's continue. And what do you think about Newman? I mean,
he's
too much of a blank slate.
He doesn't have much personality.
Exactly. I feel that's the problem here.
He's kind of an everyman, which is fine. It's not bad, but he has almost no texture. He just has bad things that happen to him, and that's not a personality.
Right. No other way, Jimmy. The explosion completely sealed the cave's entrance for 100 yards. Even 10 times the Marines outside couldn't dig through that through. That's the only chance to get out. It's too small. I can't crawl in there, but you will. Jimmy! Yes, God help me, I will. It's so narrow. I don't think I'll fit. What if I get stuck? I'm only in your mind, Jimmy. If you get trapped in there, I can't pull you out. You felt afraid like this all the time. Every day since you became Captain America? Every day, every second. How on earth did you bear it? Why did you keep going? So many people needed me. I didn't have a choice. It looks like I don't have a choice either. Talk to me, Cap. Even if you're only in my mind. Keep talking so I don't feel alone. Dying alone. That's not how I want it to happen. Tight. Can hardly breathe. Talk to me, Cap. Let me hear your voice. What do you want me to talk about? His heart rate's dropping, even lower. Tell me why you were afraid. I wanted to help so much, but until the day I was created, I never imagined the terrible path I'd chosen. When Professor Erskine was murdered, I felt as if my father had died a second time, but there was more deaths to come. The Nazis realized they could have kidnapped the professor instead of killing him. Now they went after Colonel Fletcher, hoping he knew the secrets of Project Rebirth. I did all I could to rescue him, but I couldn't reach him in time. He died trying to escape. What good was it to be Captain America if I couldn't save him? My closest friend was James Buchan Barnes. He was like a kid brother to me. I called him Bucky. He died on one of our other missions. And it continued, so many friends, so many people I cared about. I kept fearing who else would die. I pushed myself to the limit, trying to keep them safe. Strangers too. So many strangers depended on me. The country depended on me. A lifetime of trying. That's why I was afraid of failing. Cap? What? I can't move any further. I'm stuck. Could you squirm back out? No! My belt's caught on something. I'm trapped. Help me, Cap! The only person who can help you is you. No air. Never stop hoping, Jimmy. I'll die here. Never give up. And squeeze my hips together. Stuck in my stomach. Scrunch my shoulders. I moved a couple of inches. That's it, Jimmy. Never stop trying. The space is getting wider. There's a curve, I think. I can squirm around. No! I did this for nothing. Not for nothing. You risk your life for men who counted on you. Men who you could count on if everything were reversed. I can't let them die. Ah! Cap, I did it! Not yet. I can't see the bottom. There's no way to get around. Jump it. Can't. Afraid. Of course you are. Courage can't exist without fear. You can't be a hero unless you overcome fear. But I don't want to be a hero. You already are. Why do you think I chose you? Chose me? What are you talking about? There'd been a massive security breach. Nazi assassins could be anywhere. Knowing too well that I was human, Colonel Fletcher protected the experiment and ordered soldiers to hide me. In plain sight, disguised as a clumsy private in the army. I blended with millions of young men who rushed to enlist after Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. But even though I had superpowers, I could still be hurt. I could bleed. I could be killed. I told you not to throw the grenade till I gave the orders, Rogers. I didn't have time to take cover. I welcomed the training. My sudden new strength made my body unfamiliar to me. The army was a perfect place to learn how to control my powers. Okay, I do like this because we've never seen this. Usually, once he's capped,
perfect.
Yeah, I liked it that he still went through training because he would have to adjust to a new body.
Yeah, I think that's very sensible.
Yeah. Sometimes in the dark, I snuck from the base to test my skill. War rationings for suckers. We can make a fortune on this stuff. But always afterwards, I shook from the effects of adrenaline, from the knowledge that I could have been killed. The government knew I wasn't immortal. They were afraid to risk losing a one-of-a-kind weapon that they spent millions to develop, so they turned me into a freak show. But as more of our brave men died overseas, there's rumors. Okay, now this. Okay, when did the first Captain America movie come out again?
2011, wasn't it?
So,
or was it 2012?
Yeah, but still, this is elements similar to what they had.
Yep.
I kind of like that.
I am curious to see if this influenced like storyboarding or screenwriting at all.
I have to wonder because a moment like this hasn't been anywhere else where they did that.
Exactly.
And as rumors about the atrocities began to reach me, the primary emotion I felt, more than fear, was shame. I insisted on being used. At first, my participation was symbolic. Hey, what's that plane doing? Looks like one of ours. To energize weary solars. Something fell. No, not saying somebody. That's a jumper. He ought to pull the ripcord any time now. What I intended and had risked. My fear was inevitable. But even now, so many decades later, I still recall the glory of it. Something's wrong. His chute isn't working. He's gonna hit. Shoot. My stunt and others like it did wonders for morale. The men felt energized, knowing that Captain America was with them. But I wasn't really with them. They were the ones dying in combat while I stayed on the sidelines. At last, I convinced the War Department that the only way I intended to cooperate was by taking the risk the others did. Those men didn't have superpowers. They were the true heroes. I knew the sight of Captain America would draw heavy fire towards my unit, so I went as Steve Rogers. But I saw plenty of action anyhow. I was terrified, but I knew what I needed to do. The only way the war could be won. I was human. I was wounded. The government went berserk about that, but I told them I was through hiding or doing stunts. I needed to be faster and stronger, to use my power to the maximum. I never stopped trying. I worked harder and harder to get better and better. All those years, you never stopped. Must have been exhausting. And I think in the world without the Avengers.
Well, have the Avengers ever been a thing in the
No,
40s?
but I'm saying in general.
No,
I'm
I
getting
know
this
that the
vibe.
modern stuff is also no Avengers, but
As I'm saying, no, they were never involved in that. I'm just saying I'm getting this vibe.
yeah, I mean it's very self-contained. It's not. I
Yep.
mean, which makes sense because it's going for very like real world conflicts and stuff.
Right. There wasn't time to think about that. A new crisis always came along. I was always needed somewhere else. You said you chose me. What did you mean? You're not ready to hear that yet. First, I need to tell you one more thing. How I got sick. General, we're losing him! And here comes the last issue already.
We are all Captain America.
Actually, wait till you see how this goes.
I mean, that's what that cover means.
Yeah, by the way, I have another story we can go over after we're done here, if you don't mind. Since this is going quicker than I thought. It's on the similar wavelengths.
Yeah.
Whatever's happening there, I'm sure it must be important for him to show up. I came as soon as the Pentagon alerted me. He's fading rapidly, Mr. President. Selfless as always, sacrificing himself to the very end. Did he accomplish the mission? Project Multitude is crucial. We have no idea, Mr. President. He hasn't communicated with us in days. From the moment he became like this, he hasn't had anything to eat or drink. I don't know how he maintains the strength to push his mind. Intravenous fluid keeps him alive. So much to explain. Who's he talking to? Which person did he choose? We don't know, Mr. President. Now, obviously, this is the Marvel going with just a generic president, and obviously, this is in the future anyway. It's some type of future. You know, I still can't see the top. I can't last much longer. There's so much you need to understand. Talk to me, Cap. Tell me how you got sick. 2 months ago, I tracked down a terrorist cell that managed to sneak into the country. I caught them at a small airstrip outside Chicago. When I hit the pavement, I lost my strength. Kill him! I never felt this exposed before. Even at the start, when I was first learning to use my powers as Captain America, my body never failed me. I'm human. The only thing that kept me from being injured are my extraordinary strength and speed, my lightning-quick reflexes. Suddenly, I felt my power draining from me. Then, as quickly as my body had failed, my strength came back. I told myself it was an isolated occurrence. But 4 days later, it happened again. Again, my strength failed me. If my reflexes hadn't surged back, this time I had no doubt it would happen yet again. A team of medical specialists gave me every test they could think of. He's losing muscle density. He's not processing oxygen efficiently. They looked for problems in my blood, imbalances or cancer, or bacteria or viruses, some sign of a disease I might have caught. In the end, they all reached the same conclusion. After all these years, after Project Rebirth made me Captain America, the process was failing. Possibly the experimental chemicals and hormones finally lost their potency, or else the effect of the ray machine reached their limit. All we know is your cell structure and metabolism are reverting. I'll be Steve Rogers again, the real Steve Rogers. But they were wrong. It turned out to be much worse. Perhaps there was a lifetime of loneliness and grief and loss, of learning not to have friends and a family because I'd make them a target and get them killed. Or it could have been the weariness. Or a lifetime of fighting evil. Or perhaps it was the plane explosion that trapped me in the ice years ago. I never felt the same after the ice. In my mind, the year was 1945, but suddenly it was decades later. So much time was lost, and so much was changed. Friends had died, the war was over, another war started and ended. Something called the Cold War was now being waged. My mind reeled as I learned about the atomic bomb and the even more devastating hydrogen bomb. Captain America was needed more than ever, again and again. Maybe being frozen altered the Project Rebirth's chemicals and hormones in my system. Maybe the damage finally caught up to me. Or maybe I just wore down. I became as frail as I'd originally been, but then I got frailer. It became obvious that this wasn't only a regression. I was the victim of a relentless collapse. How much time do I have? 6 months. But it was wrong, too. It happened in weeks, not months. The doctors and scientists did their best to reverse my decay. They worked frantically to find the secret of the original project, Rebirth's chemical and hormones. They failed. As my life raced to an end, the only option that made sense to me was to be useful one last time, to volunteer for the remote viewing experiment, the strength-sapping mind projection that allows me to communicate with you. But if it weakens you, you'll even faster. Why are you sacrificing yourself to be with me? To ask you to join me, to ask you to try to replace me. That's impossible. I could never replace you. I don't have the strength or the speed you once had. No one does. The secret to Project Rebirth died with Professor Erskine. No one will ever be like me again, but you have something as powerful. What? Courage. I can barely hear you. Honor, loyalty, the willingness to sacrifice. He's describing Project Multitude. If you get close to Captain America, you're one step closer to the president. I looked for someone who cared for the future, who thought about others, who understood that only cowards turn their back on a righteous task. Someone who looked fear in the face, but still did the right thing. But if you couldn't finish the job, what hope does an ordinary person like me have? Not one person. What are you talking about? You're not ordinary, and you won't be alone. Even Captain America couldn't do the job. It's too huge. Every time I hoped I made progress, a new version of evil raised its twisted head. You won't be alone, Jimmy. The fight and hate demands a multitude. That's why my strength's draining so fast. Around the country, there are other men and women with your virtues. Decent, caring people willing to sacrifice. Some of them are already heroes themselves, although they don't think of themselves that way. They insist they're just doing their jobs. Others think of themselves as ordinary, even though they're doing the most important, heroic jobs in the world.
So I'm kind of getting JMS Spider-Man 2001 vibes from this.
Except he spread himself out across to others. That's what he means. Trying their hardest, never settling for less than their best effort to improve life for everyone. I've chosen as many as I can, Jimmy, to the limit of my remaining strengths. I'm with them now, just as I'm with you, using the last of my resolve and to urge them to reach into themselves, to muster the generosity and determination to exemplify the best of what people can be. You aren't perfect. A great nation can admit that some refuse to accept that all of us are created equal. Others demand that self-interest is all that matter. After I was rescued from the ice, the jump in years made me notice changes. Something was shifting in our culture, behavior, and language that never would have been tolerated, and what had never been tolerated became commonplace. Oh!
Baby.
Yep, greed is good. And greed is good? Look out for number one? No. I'll gladly sacrifice my life if people will only understand that everyone has it in them to be a hero, that they can all be Captain America. If we help each other, if we work together. What's the matter, Cap? Why did you stop? Something's wrong. Ah! So the guys they're the spider trying to kill the president. And Cap, I can't thank you enough, Captain America. Where are you, Cap? Oh, the screwdriver got him in the eye.
Not good.
Cap, where'd you go? Cap! Save your team. You sound different, Cap. Keep trying, Jimmy. Never stop. Where are you? Inside you. Inside me. Inside everyone. If they'll only listen. A hero to the end. God help us. How would we get along without him? Keep trying, Jimmy. Never give up. We can't possibly get the men trapped in that cave before they run out of air. Sir, headquarters radio. One of our units is under attack 20 miles east of here. They need our help. We can't be everywhere at once. But Lord, how I hate to give up. Never stop trying. No! Come back! Good, they're coming this way. An ambush! Fire on the command vehicle! Oh, look at him! Doom. So now he's basically fighting like Cap. Cap left us a piece of himself.
Cap.
I don't know how you got here, Corporal Newman, but thank God you did. You'll get another commendation for this. Captain America deserves better. You still think he helped you? I'm convinced there's a little of him in all of us, sir. Definitely in you, Medic, and definitely in you. Medic, the Corporal's wounded. Get him back to base. There's no time. I can show you how to rescue the men from the cave, but you don't have the strength. I have all the strength I need, sir. Can't stand caves. Can't stand being in them. No other choice. I'm the only one who knows the way. Lieutenant, and does this heat sometimes play trick on your eye? For a moment, I thought I saw Captain America. Try hard enough. Reach deeply enough. If people will only believe I'm inside them. Sanchez, I found help. Don't give up. We're coming to get everybody out. I'll never truly die. And that's it. So how was that?
Very Logan, very first Captain America movie.
Before the movie came out?
Yeah. Well, before either movie came out.
But, okay, this was a better the end, let's be honest.
Well, it's a low bar, but I would say it's a pretty decent the end, even though it's a low bar to be better than the other one.
But it's not the best the end we've ever covered. I think Daredevil End of Days was better.
That's the Bendis one we did last time, right?
Yeah.
Well, that one was much more interesting. This one was, it just feels safe in a way.
Right. How would this compare to some of the others we had gone over? Because we've gone over Iron Man the end, Punisher the end,
well, I have to admit,
Captain Marvel, Deadpool, Doctor Strange, and Miles and Venom.
I have to admit, I like a longer story. So it's gonna be in like the top 5, I'd say, just because it has room to breathe and get into the characters more.
Mm-hmm.
So it's somewhere in the top 5. It's not the top, but it does interesting things. I really like the art. It's very nice.
Yeah. Oh, apparently they're going to be doing a The End omnibus next year. I already got all of them, so doesn't matter to me. Oh boy, get this. Even CBR ranks Captain America The End as the worst. Oh, geez. You know what they rank number 2nd? Venom.
I mean, Venom is super popular.
But they say Venom the End is the second best, was, of course, Hulk the End being the best, obviously.
So is Venom the End the one I have by Adam Warren?
Yes, that's the one we've gone over.
I do really like that one.
Apparently it's tying in the more stuff than we thought.
I think it's really funny and humorous, and I don't know, I think it's a fun story.
But anyway, so again, overall, like with Newman, no. I mean, obviously Newman was a means to him, but what do you think about all this, about Cap? Like, this was a unique the end, I would say. This is unique among all of them.
I have a hard time saying it's unique, just because of how similar it feels to those other stories, even though I know that's just parallel. It's not because it's copying them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Newman being such a blank slate really does hurt the story.
Yeah, agreed.
But, like, that just makes it kind of good instead of great, you know?
Oh, yeah, definitely. But what about the artwork?
No, the artwork is one of the best in the ends, I think.
Now, what is about the fact that Cap his body was failing him? Again, clearly not set in anything. Because
Right.
there's no reference to the Avengers, no reference to the time where his body's failed him before.
I mean, this feels like Flowers for Algernon for me.
But yet a bigger gap. Would you agree?
Whenever they do these kinds of things, it just feels a bit arbitrary, because I don't know. It doesn't have an ideological meaning. It just sort of has an emotional meaning, and that's fine for the story, but I would rather... And so I take it back a little bit. Like, there is sort of like a terrorist acceleration thing going on.
Right.
But, like, Captain America has an ideology... Like, he's got so much ideology baked in, and there's a lot of different places you can take that, but this doesn't really take it anywhere.
I do like how they give it a chance to breathe, but be honest, I do think it's a few issues too long. I feel like it should have been 4 issues. Would you agree?
I agree. I think that it didn't need to be 6 issues.
Because it felt like got a little, like, the stuff with the origin felt like, was that needed?
Well, I mean, he's trying to do, like, you know, a parallel, but the problem is
he's trying to pass stuff down.
the ending
Yeah.
isn't strong enough to balance the beginning, so it feels unbalanced.
And I'm sorry, Cap's death, getting stabbed with the screwdriver about protecting the president.
Whatever.
I'm sorry, that's not a good final hurrah for him. I mean, I would rather he had just died from pushing his luck, not, again, the screwdriver of all things. Just have it be that his strength gave out from trying to save him. That's all we needed. I think the screwdriver was too much.
I don't know. That didn't really stick out to me.
Sticks out. Ah. But yeah, but again, so not a bad story, all things considered.
No, not bad.
So yeah, that's about all we got to say on this one. Thank you.
And I think that you could call it the end. I mean,
you're good. Yeah, it deserved that title. I think now The Chosen, I feel, was not a bad replacement.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I would say The Brave or something, but I mean, anything you do that's not the end is going to be a little generic.
Courage.
Yeah,
courage.
it'd be a little generic.
But I will say this. Mind me to show you what we're going to talk about next? Because there's only one other book out there that's not the end that I haven't covered.
The Zdarsky book he's doing right now. Oh,
close.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, we'll be going over Silver Surfer Requiem next. See you guys then.